And welcome back to Tukuza. Welcome to church. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We want to apologize for the technical hitch we had earlier on, and as a result of that we will not have Sunday school. We'll make sure that the children come next Sunday. We fellowship together with them. That's Destiny Children's Home all the way from Komarok. We'll also not have a gifted today. And today we were supposed to have a very unique kind of a gift, so we'll be having that next week. So good things lined up for you next week. But right about now is a time where, you know, that segment you love, you get to hear what God is doing in the lives of his people, and it's my testimony. And we had told you earlier, right here on Tukuza, we've never done, you know, this, a Westgate story where someone survived. But the unique thing about this story is that she did not just survive, but even after what happened at Westgate, something else happened that changed the life of this girl or this lady. So that is what we have today. And we have Shali. Karibu sana, Shali. Good to have you. You well?
Thank you. I'm very well.
Uko blessed.
Amen.
Umekuwa tu naomba. Hii testimony lazima tu share.
Yeah.
And it's good to have you.
Thank you.
I think for the benefit of our viewers, probably you can just start by introducing yourself.
My name is Shirley Nailantei. I'm born again. I love God. I have a company. I have a group of companies. That is Convert Group. We do travel, we do events management, and we do interior design.
Okay.
Yeah.
God amekubless.
I thank God.
God amekubless.
I thank God.
Yes. So probably just give us a brief about where you've come from before we get to that specific day when you went to Westgate Mall.
I have always loved God. Let me just say that. My testimony is brief. Before Westgate, I was just a God lover and doing my business, you know, and having it grow. Started my company when I was 25 years, pretty young. But I thank God for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So this morning, Saturday morning,
yes,
you wake up early and you decide to leave the house.
I went to the balcony of my house, and my house was not very far from Westgate. So it was actually a 2 minutes walk. And I always used to tell people, my kiosk is Westgate. It was that near. So when I went to the balcony, it looked like it wanted to rain. It didn't want to rain. And if you're spiritual, you understand some things. And for me, I understood the day was not normal. I couldn't place it, but it was just a very dark day.
Darkness.
There was just something. It's like a cloud was hanging, but I couldn't just understand what I was. Yeah. So I decided to go to the salon. So I go to Nakumat, UK. I don't get M-Pesa. So the other option is to go to Westgate.
Right.
My spirit was still not okay. I didn't know why, because this was home for me. Every Saturday, I would be in Westgate. So I'm there at 9 at cafe. I check my emails. I meet my clients. I go upstairs, maybe have lunch in Java, come down, go to Nakumat. My life was pretty much rolled around, yes, Westgate. So everyone who knew me knew that I must be in Westgate, and they were not wrong. Yes.
Okay.
So I go to Westgate, and then I decided, why not go upstairs to Java? I go to Java, and I see so many kids, because there was a function going on.
Right, a cookout.
A cookout for the kids, and this media girl was doing it. So when I came downstairs, there were too many, so I decided to do a takeaway. And when I was in the lift, I actually met one of the organizers. Unfortunately, she died. It was in the media. So she asked us, you know, come for the cookout, and she was really, really happy that day. We said, okay. Well, we were 6 of us. Going downstairs now to queue, something happened, because a lot of people who I have had are survivors. They don't talk about this. There was actually a queue that they made. The lights were switched off.
Okay.
So the lights
this time
go off.
around you're going down so that you go to the M-Pesa office.
The M-Pesa is right outside Nakumatt.
Okay.
Right, by the door where the elephants were.
Right.
So when I'm there queuing, the lights go off.
Okay.
Now, because this is Westgate, it's not the first time. So, you know, there's a backup generator.
Right. So your expectation was to come back immediately?
Of course, it was always immediate, and it was very rare as well. It felt like home for me. So I was not worried. Until the lights came on, and then there were gunshots outside. But when you're in, it sounds like, you know, some tire burst, and it can be a lorry because it's very loud. So I was not still bothered until people started running in.
Wow.
The confusion was very shocking. It's something I cannot, I'll try and explain, but when you're there, you're wondering, why are people running? So you are the one who is standing outside Nakumatt. People are running towards you.
So people are living
outside.
Outside the...
Yes, outside there was Souls, there was, I think, Urban, there was Tapas. So there is activity and, you know, people walking in and out. So these are the guys now who are running towards us. So you don't know what's going on.
Right.
So right there, it's good to watch movies. And for me, I love anything criminology, crime, CSI. So I was like, you know, I don't know what this is. But now the loud gunfire, like the gunman now had come in. So you can't see him because of that confusion.
Right.
But then I decided I need to move away from the door, the entrance of Nakumatt, and ensure that I will lay underneath the counter of M-Pesa. Because that was the only thing I thought about. Because when you watch these crime things, the first thing they teach you is, in case of any gunfire, don't run.
Right.
If you can lay on the floor, it gives you an advantage because this person is walking. So you sort of get your bearing.
Right.
So that's when I saw him from where I was sleeping.
Okay.
And he shot someone who had just come out of Barclays Bank.
Wow.
The guy had just come from the ATM. So you come and you're right in front of a gunman. The first thing you do is you raise your hands, and that's what he did. And he shot him at the head.
Wow.
Right at the head, and the guy is falling. I'm thinking, what is going on? You know, first you're scared, you're panicked, you're not sure. So because it happened outside Barclays, my first instinct is to tell me what? It's a bank robbery. So that's what I was thinking. Until he began spraying bullets everywhere. The guy was trigger happy. I mean, you know, he had this happy look, like a baby with a toy. Yes, and he was spraying as much as people are running wherever. If it hits you, child, adult, really, he didn't care.
At this point, you're still down there.
I'm still down there.
Happening.
Yes, and you see now, the problem with Kenyans, and I'm not saying Kenyans are problematic, and I think it's people in general, you want to see what's going on. So now the people inside Nakumatt are running out.
To see what's happening.
The ones outside are running in. I'm there, I'm wondering.
So this guy is actually having a field day.
Oh yeah. Because now the ones who are coming out, they don't know what they are going to meet, and they are coming out to see, what is that noise? This guy is still shooting. When I was sleeping there, suddenly people cleared.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know whether now they are dead. Because you're there, you're scared, the gunfire, you start closing your eyes, you open your eyes, you want to look like even you are dead, because now you don't know what's going on. Turns out, downstairs, there is gunfire. Upstairs, there is gunfire. So even this one, even if he's not shooting where we are on the ground level, there is gunfire down and up.
Upstairs.
It was horrible.
At this point, what are you thinking? Are you still thinking this is a
robbery for me? But then I'm wondering, why downstairs, you know, and why up? It wasn't really making sense to me.
Okay.
But then, until I saw someone else who I saw in the papers, a bit of an influential guy who died, God rest his soul. That time, people have cleared. Now it's only me. And then there is someone else by the elephant. Again, I came to see that guy also lost his life. And he's asking me, what's going on? Of course, I don't know what's going on. He's expecting me to, because I'm on the opposite side, at least to see more. But that time, you don't even need to talk to anyone. You are beyond scared.
Right.
Beyond scared. To a point, you're almost kissing death. The taste of death is not very interesting. So I saw him coming in and blood was gushing out. So I don't know whether it had hit a nerve. I don't know. I don't know too much about what happens when you're shot, because blood was just coming out. So you'd expect when someone is shot, then the blood, I don't know what it, I don't know what I expected, because it's not something that I've seen before. And he held his chest and he kept saying, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm dying. And this person helped him, and they went towards where the trolleys were. I don't like blood. Seeing blood, though I'm Maasai, seeing blood made me think about moving. I needed to see that, to move.
Right.
So I saw the 3 people again who died in Nakumat. There were 2 men and a woman who I knew.
Those were employees now?
Those are employees, and these are managers. So the other guys had moved back, but them, I don't think they saw that these guys are going to come into Nakumat. Yet, I repeat, people assumed it was a bank robbery.
Right.
So Kennedy, I'm sorry to call his name because maybe his family is watching, calls me, says, come to me. And they saved quite a bit of people who they kept saying, you know, just use your belly, come.
Yeah, keep moving.
Keep moving, don't stop, you know. So he says, come to me, and I had to use my belly. And he said, hi, I'm really sorry, what's going on? I said, I don't know. This time, my phone is buzzing, but I do not have the grace to pick it up.
Right.
So I went towards where the food stuff was. I found people eating.
People were eating?
Yes. I don't know how you would loot when there is gunfire.
Oh, people were now getting stuff and
bread,
amazing,
milk. In fact, one guy actually asked me, "Unataka kukula?" You know, and you're thinking,
was it shock? Or
I think
what
so.
Was that?
Oh, I don't know. You know, there are people who are just strange.
Differently. Oh my.
People are just strange. So I looked at the guys and I decided, if I stay here,
right,
I don't know how it's gonna be. Let me go upstairs. So again, I didn't use the elevator.
Right.
I mean the escalator up. I decided to use my belly. Now this time you're crawling.
Through the ramp, right?
Through the ramp.
All this time there's still
it is
gunfire
all over. So in fact, you move faster because you don't know whether the person is behind you.
Yeah.
It's loud. You don't know whether the person is right behind you. You don't want to stop. You just want to go to the farthest corner.
Right.
So that you can save yourself.
So here you are with your belly.
Yes. Up.
Upstairs, first floor.
Yes.
So you get there. Do you find people there?
There were very many people. Guys were underneath the bed. People with children, you know. And when I went, I wondered, where do I hide?
Right.
All the beds pretty much.
People are already
occupied, you know. So I said, I don't know what to do. You know, the problem with all this and fear, you feel very vulnerable. You don't know whether to open a suitcase, wrap yourself in. You don't know. You don't know. The thoughts that go through your mind is you just want to get out of there.
Wow.
So I land myself in this corner very near the suitcases, and I'm sleeping in a corridor. It's it's an open place. So I'm not covered, and I'm pretty much exposed because then the other people are not near me. Shortly, now the Indian Asian brothers decide to come there, and they're the ones who have come with kids. I said these kids will sing until these guys will know where we are. They will cry, they will call these guys.
Right.
Where am I? And you see, now you're looking around, you don't know nobody. You just want to save yourself. If you can even fit underneath a chair, you would. But there's nowhere to hide, you know. So I decided to just lay there. I remember there was this Asian guy who comes and his phone rings. Men were crying, dear man. It was sad. That is, I thank God I'm sharing this, because I don't know whether the other people have grace to share what their experiences were.
So men are crying.
Men are crying. Children are not crying, apparently.
Wow.
Kids are being told, shh.
These men are,
you know, because men are shaking.
Right.
You're there with your kid. What happens? You're there with your wife. What happens? You know, you're
and
scared.
the death is very close. It's
yes.
not too far.
It's downstairs.
So here you are sleeping. Did you see anyone with a gun? One of those terrorists?
What now happened is, when I'm sleeping there, I get a phone call. And it was my mom, and my mom says, "Are you in Westgate?" I hope you're not. Now those are two questions. Are you and I hope. Okay, I am. So nobody quite knew what is going on. Even the media guys didn't know. Is it under siege? What's going on? Is it robbery? Is it fire? So she says, Westgate kuko na moto. Fire. So you wonder, gunfire, and then to wait and be roasted. Which one would you choose as a form of death?
Right.
You know, and then this guy next to me just shouted, "Switch off your phone," you know. And then now the Indian guy, thank God for him, he had a boy, and he calls the wife and he asks, "What's going on?" And he said, "Westgate is under siege."
Wow.
That is a strange word, not because it's English, but because it's Kenya. That doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
No. So what are you saying? Under siege? Who? Is it robbers? What? So he says it's terrorists.
Oh my.
Today is the day we die. My heart didn't sink. But I stopped being scared for a reason. Then he calls, another one now next to him calls the wife and says, "Go to the pastor's house. Tell the pastor to pray."
Wow.
That is how serious it was, because this is not the time to believe in any other God apart from God, because then that's when you know.
So he remembered the pastor was a neighbor.
I don't know whether he was born again or not, because again, some of them are born again.
Right.
But he just said, "Go to the pastor, go tell him to pray." And that is when I said to God one prayer. I didn't pray, "When I die, Father, be with me." I said, "Father, those with us are more than those with them."
Amazing.
That is Elisha's prayer, because I didn't know what else to pray for. This gunfire is going on, and as scary as it is, I needed those with us to be more. Something phenomenal happens. I saw an angelic presence come down.
Wow.
They were real. To me, they were so real. And they came holding hands, man to man, round across where everyone had, hidden. Immediately the angels came. A sniper came upstairs.
You saw the sniper?
I would see his feet. He wasn't far from me. Where the DJ is and where I am, how far is that?
That's
you
close.
Can turn and see the person.
About 5 meters or so.
But what the angels did, they were not facing us. Because those with us are more than those with them. So what do angels do? They look at him, but they are holding hands. So the guy is outside. He's outside the protected cloud. Let's say that. We were there for 5.5 hours. Children slept.
For
Men
5.5
slept. I'm telling
hours.
you, Anthony, there was peace on first floor that has never been experienced.
And you know, Shali, we hear those stories.
Yes.
And I believe it, that each one of us is an angel and who protects us.
Of course.
So you actually saw angels protecting and putting a guard, right?
Those with us. It's true. More. Because what happened when you read the book of the story of Elisha, he actually had to pray for Gehazi's eyes to be opened, for him to see the angelic presence with them. For me, it was just faith. I didn't know what else to do, because then you know, what else can you do?
That was the only option you had. I mean, you can't
what
run,
else can you do? Yeah.
And you're seeing a sniper right there.
Shooting people downstairs.
So the
guy was shooting on target.
Oh
okay?
My.
So when the gunfire began, it was continuous. After an hour and a half or so, it was now shoot on target. It's like we are playing the paintball. So if I don't see you, I don't shoot. But if I see you, I shoot. When he's upstairs, if you raise your head, or I don't know what people are doing, they are shot. Upstairs,
on first floor?
I'm telling you, it's gunfire.
Guys, the children are not crying.
Babies slept. The men who were crying were calm. The women slept. People had such peace.
Okay. We come back in a short while with Shali. So here you are 5.5 hours. There's someone there who's a sniper shooting downstairs.
Yes.
But the guy is not reaching you. So what we'll want to understand is, after now after the 5.5 hours, exactly what happened? How did they leave? And she definitely had to leave. That's why she's here today. She did not die. So we want to know that. And after that, we want to understand what exactly happened after this entire ordeal. Was that the end of challenges in her life? We are taking a music break. We'll be back in a short while.